Well, yields have risen and so have the markets. Who would have thought? But anyways, that's the state of what are the cues for today. Let's take stock of the global news flow first. The 10-year Treasury yield hit the highest level since 2007. That's quite a move, really, that we've seen yesterday. Nasdaq rose to its best day in August, and the stock futures, though, are little changed, but they are not negative. Oil held on to losses on signs of supply rebound as demand woes linger. And Goldman Sachs says China and emerging markets are going through a divorce. Well, must say, from an in-markets perspective, I don't think anybody's complaining. So what did the US markets do? Well, NASDAQ, big move, 1.56% higher. And Treasury yields, the 10-year Treasury yields, a really big move out there as well. The other cues will come up on your screen in just a moment, and you will see that sharp uptick in the 10-year Treasury yield at 4.34 from 4.27 yesterday. VIX went up as well. The dollar index steady at 103, no big shakes there. Remember, our markets did a bit of a move yesterday. So the GIFT Nifty, which comes up on your screen next, kind of gives you a sense of some bit of an uptick, but some bit of the move you would argue it happened yesterday as well, because we saw IT stocks, tech stocks lead, and metal stocks lead the rebound yesterday. So it doesn't come as a surprise. So what's the trade setup therefore for the day today? Well, the Nifty's finding support, or yesterday did find support near that 50-day moving average, and it is at near some key clusters. Remember, yesterday I was talking about how Dr. C.K. Narayan's column mentioned that the Nifty last week had fallen into a set of support zones. From there, it's found support at the 50-day moving average, with IT and metal stocks outperforming in trade yesterday. But does it mean that this is what will continue to happen? Don't know. But IT's got some metal to itself by virtue of the fact that Nasdaq also has done well. So just for the immediacy, just for near term, today's trade, who knows? There might be some more juice in the session. Now, when I was looking at the notes from the technical experts in trade yesterday, post market hours, the uniform cue was that if indeed the Nifty manages to close today above yesterday's high, then it could lead to initiation of some fresh longs. Time will tell. Remember, for the last 5-6 days, I've been saying that quant indicators are saying that we are completely against, or the idea of leverage short position should not be uh, entertained. And I think if indeed we see an up move today, then that's the first sign of that turning out to be true. Essentially, a mix of quant indicators and what technical experts have been saying. Bank Nifty has been consolidating in this very narrow range for the last 5 trading sessions. For the index to inch up higher, you probably need the banks to do well. Let's see if the Bank Nifty can break out of this consolidation. Specific pockets, continue to do. Yesterday, for example, railways had a fabulous run, but it's very difficult to pencil which day would that happen. If anything, the one pocket that seems to be doing well are the Adani Group stocks, because led by GQG buying, promoter buying, we're seeing those stocks make some very decent moves, very, very quietly and surreptitiously. But Adani Ports has moved and made a very strong move of 60, 70 points in the last 7 days. Some of the other group stocks also have done well. So, in terms of pockets, like I said, on a given day, anything could move, like the way railways did yesterday. But it's a trend we are seeing, probably these stocks now coming back to the fore. Let's see if that lasts for them. It's an IPO day as well. IPO of Aeroflex Industries opens today. It's open for subscription between today and August 24th. The issue size is of 351 crores, which is a fresh issue of 162 crores, and an OFS for the rest. And the price band is at 102 to 108 apiece. Now, viewers, you know, I cannot recommend, and I do not want to recommend what to do with a particular IPO or a stock under any circumstance. But I must say that Aeroflex yesterday released the list of the the anchor investors. It's an impressive list of people, and the pre-IPO investors also. Ashish Kacholia, Vikas Kemani, and Jagdish Master had bought stake in that company ahead of the IPO. So seems to be a promising set of people who are betting on this name. Watch out for the subscription numbers, but could be interesting. Even the parent which benefits out of this, the parent which houses this subsidiary could benefit out of the sentiment for this IPO. So do watch out for SAT Industries, which is the parent as well. But Aeroflex, the IPO, smart set of investors out there. You might want to do your checks. My colleague Sajid would have done an IPO Adda with the management. You might want to tune in for that. And I think during the course of the next 3 days, I'll try and get you research notes and what do they say about the subscription or not to subscribe notes as well, more so on the 24th. But yeah, the IPO is certainly out there for anybody to wanting to try and see what the management has to say. I think Virat is trying to pull that, maybe some technical difficulty, but essentially on YouTube, on our website, if you just look for Aeroflex and IPO, you will get the interview with the management. I mean, various other media houses also would have done this. So look up anywhere, doesn't matter. But yeah, just be mindful of what the kind of company it is before you get into it. But the going seems to be strong for Aeroflex. It's a steel hose pipe manufacturing company with some pretty smart exports. In fact, just one quick thing here. Vikas Khemani, in his recent Alpha Moguls interview with us as well, has spoken a little bit about this IPO. You might want to look at that. Stocks to watch today is the key thing. Geo Financial Services right at the top of my list. From what I hear from people, it may continue to see pressure in trade currently as well. The street chatter says that index funds are likely sellers. Now, passive funds essentially, which follow the index or mimic the index, might be continued sellers, because if this name is taken off some of the indices, then those guys anyways have to sell. So that is the key thing. I think Abhay Agarwal in yesterday's talking point was referring to the same thing when he said that it could be under pressure for the next few days. So be mindful of Geo Financial Services. As a trade in the very near term could see some pressure. Tepid listing, must say, relative to what the street would have been anticipating. Adani Enterprises, founder firm Campus Trade and Investment, bought about 2.53 crore shares, 2.22, something that I was referring to. This purchase was made from the open market between August 7th to August 18th. So that's the first Adani Group stock that I'm talking about. A second Adani Group stock is Adani Power, which has released that they are targeting a total capacity of 21,110 megawatts by FY29, which is nearly 39% capacity growth. Includes various forms of inorganic and brownfield capacity expansion plans, and sees a net senior debt rise in FY24 versus FY23, which is fine. Infra projects get funded by debt and not by equity. I mean, yes, there's a little bit of an equity component, it's largely debt, but this is an ambitious 39% capacity growth over 5 years on that base, by the way. So watch out for both of these. Standard disclaimer. Adani Group, through AMG Media Networks, currently owns 49% stake in Quintillion Business Media, which is the owner of BQ Prime brand. And Adani Media Networks has entered into an MOU to acquire the balance 51% as well. Post-acquisition, QBML will become a wholly owned subsidiary of Adani Media Networks. And therefore, just prudent to bring this description or this disclaimer every time you hear me or anybody else from our platform talk about some of the Adani Group stocks. But frankly, we're just reporting the news as it has come. Union Bank of India, a board approved to raise up to 5,000 crores from the QIP, set the floor price at 91.1 rupees a piece for the issue opening on August 21st. So watch out for that one. Watch out for the railway station modernization program. 1,300 railway stations, including Gwalior in Madhya Pradesh, are being redeveloped and modernized under the Atmanirbhar Station scheme. And construction beneficiaries like cement stocks, like APL Apollo Tubes could be beneficiaries. Now, why do I point out this stock in particular? Simply because in an interview with us about a month ago, if I'm not wrong, the CFO of APL Apollo Tubes had mentioned that this Uttar Pradesh railway modernization scheme would have APL Apollo being a big beneficiary by virtue of the kind of steel tubes that it is giving and maybe even the water tanks that it is giving. So there's some issue with Virat being able to pull out some of these interviews today. So excuse us for that. But yes, again, if you just go on and see that interview, you will see what I'm talking about and the kind of guidance that that the CFO is given about the benefits that come into their company as a result of the railway modernization piece. So do watch out for that as well. So those are a few things that I thought should bring to you. Is there something that I'm missing out? I'm sure. Let me just try and see if there is. Yeah. So Wockhardt shareholders have rejected the proposal to raise about 1,600 crores from the promoter entity. Exide in the newspaper has said that they plan to double the production capacity and have requested an additional 40 acres of land from the powers to be. So watch out for that one. Nomura's buy target on car trade is 678. Aurobindo Pharma has been downgraded by Citi with a target of 750. So do watch out for that one. HDFC Bank, UBS has a buy target of 1900. Watch out for that one as well. And yep. So those are a few names that thought should bring it to you. Yeah, SJS Enterprises, there is a block deal at a discount, so do watch out for that stock as well. So quite a few stocks that I did not bring to you. Excuse me for that, as in terms of graphics, but these also could be important one to monitor today. Nevertheless, so that's the long and short of the trade setup today. Talking point at 10 a.m. Aditya Khemka of Incred joins in to talk about his thoughts on pharma. Well, and that sector is very hot, so thought should bring that to you. Chirag Doshi of Walcha Nagar Industries joins in at 10:30 with all the Chandrayaan focus. And Mr. Indrajit Mukherjee of Texmaco Rail joins in, not necessarily about Chandrayaan alone, but also about what's happening in that railway space, in particular the tie-up with Hindalco. So that's an interesting conversation coming up at 11:30 a.m. Trade talk with Jaspreet Singh Arora at 8:30 a.m. Ashish Maheshwari for Stocks in Focus and Chachitaran Uttekar on the stocks to watch and closing conversations today on BQ Prime. Thanks so much for tuning in to the trade setup today.